Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, everyone. Today we will start in chapter 3 with section A. But at first, I want to introduce some important verbs, and after that, we will try to explain. I will try to illustrate how we can use the geçmiş zaman form, or in English, we can say past tense, and at the same time, how I can ask by using the same form, how I can put notes with this form, and after that we will discuss some important things about related with how we can give order to my workers, how I can give orders, sure, if I'm a boss or a leader, to my employees. Okay, let's start from these few important verbs. Uyumak, to wake up. Gitmek, to go. Yapmak, to doing. Binmek, to get on. İnmek, to get in. Sevmek, love. Çıkmak, to exit. Sürmek, to drive something like bisiklet, bicycle, sorry, in English, not in Turkish. Bicycle, car. This verb related with this area, with vehicles. Gelmek, to come. Uyumak, to sleep. Çıkmak, to take. Yürümek, to walk. Dolaşmak, to wander, to take a look. Yatmak, to go to the bed. Fırçalamak, to brush. This is specifically to our ears. Seyretmek, to watch. Aramak, to search. Yakmak, burn. This word related specifically with fire field. Yıkmak, to washing. For example, I'm washing my car. Ütlemek, ironing. Taşımak, to carry something from place to another. Koymak, put. Solmak, feed. Discolor. For example, when you have a plant and you forget it to give it some water to a few days, what will happen? It starts to lose its color. Now, let's talk about the past tense form. Now, we have the important common verbs in Turkish. Now, let's use it with 5 pronouns in Turkish language, ben, sen, o, biz, siz, onlar, and work on this form. Let's take a look on this form. At first, I will put the pronouns. After that, base form. What does mean? That's mean without make or mak. D and delta. We know what that's mean, delta. I illustrated that in the previous lectures. Plus M. M here, it's add, has related with ben. Will be some connection with this pronouns and the last letter. Here will be something like verb to be, but like I said before, Turkish language is different from English language, because that we will work according to this form. Uyan, the base form. D delta, the appropriate letter will be related with A in Turkish, A in English. That's mean I will put A to be uyandım. Here at first, when I have at last of this verb, one of the fıstıkçı group, I will put T instead of D, and after that, the appropriate letter plus M, to be like that. Git, from gitmek, git, gittim. Yap, yaptım. Bin, bindim. Here, because this word didn't belong to fıstıkçı group. Now the same thing with sen pronoun. Base form, D or T delta plus, sorry, here N instead of M, N. I repeated that, N instead of M. İnmek, to be indin, sevdin, çektin, sürdün. The base verb, D or T delta plus the last one, the verb to be, the appropriate verb to be with sen will be N, just N. Now, gelmek here will be without verb to be. That means I'm talking about all pronouns. To be, geldi, uyudu, çekti, yürüdü, without verb to be, without any connect with the all pronouns. That means I'm talking about all. From that, I can know I'm talking about what, or he or she talking about who. Biz, the same form, the which pronouns I want to talk on it. Base form plus D or T delta, but here plus K. Here the appropriate verb to be in Turkish language with the busy pronouns. Okay? To be, dolaştık, yürüdük, yattık, fırçaladık. With siz, the same form, but here we will put N delta Z. To be like that, seyrettiniz, aradınız, yaktınız, yaktınız. Yak, burn, this word related with fire, this word related with washing. The last pronouns is onlar. The same verb, the same form, I'm sorry, plus ler or ler. That's related with, we dealing with heavy letters, vowel letters, or light vowel letters. To be like that. Taşıdılar, koydular, soldular. Now let's talk about how we can put note and how we can ask by using the past tense form. How we can put note, how we can put question mark. Let's start from how we can put notes. Inside this form will be the base form of verb plus ma or me instead of which vowel letters we're dealing with, de delta or te delta, and the last one will be the verb, the appropriate verb to be dependent on which pronouns we're dealing with. Because that will be uyanmadım, getmedim, here because another vowel letter, because that I put it me instead of ma. Yapmadım, beğenmedim, bilmedim. Sorry. Here, how we can put with the same form the question tool. There will be the same form here, just I will put dependent M delta. Delta, like I said before, related with which vowel letter we're dealing with, to be something like that. Uyanmadım mı? Gitmedim mi? Yapmadım mı? Bilmedim mi? Okay, with the question mark. Let's don't forget it. Put this question mark at last. Sen inmedin, sevmedin, çıkmadın, sürmedin. When I want put the question tool will be at last, like I said before, it will be like that. İnmedin mi? Sevmedin mi? Çıkmadın mı? Sürmedin mi? With a question mark at last. Here, like I said before, without any verb to be related with this pronouns, to be like that. Gelmedi, uyumadı, çekmedi, yürümedi. Here, when I want to ask about if he did that or not, I will ask. Gelmedi mi, uyamadı mı, çekmedi mi, yürümedi, yürümedi mi? And let me introduce something. It's easier because that I didn't write it. By using the same form, I can ask by ignore the notes. Let me take example. Uyandım mı? Gettim mi? But here will be T, like we know. Gettim mi? Yaptım mı? Bindim mi? And here to be indin mi? Sevdin mi? Çıktın mı? Çıktın instead of DT. Çektin mi? Sürdün mü? Okay. Because that I ignore it. I didn't write it. Now let's talk about biz. Dolaşmadık. Dolaşmak. Dolaşmadık. Yürümadık. Yatmadık. Fırçalamadık. To be dolaşmadık mı? Yürümadık mı? Yatmadık mı? Fırçalamadık mı? Or we can say dolaştık mı? Yürüdük mü? Yattık mı? Yattık, not yattık. T instead of D, because here this is the last one belong to first Turkish group. Fırçaladık mı? Fırçaladık mı? Now, siz seyretmediniz mi? Aramadınız mı? Yakmadınız mı? Yakmadınız mı? Yakmadınız mı? Yıkmadınız mı? I know all of them maybe some similarity about the pronunciation section. Yak, but the right pronunciation to all of them are at first yak, the last one is yık. To be yakmadınız mı? Yıkmadınız mı? It's near but different. At last, each language has different rules, different pronouns, different pronunciation. That's it. Let's talk about the last pronunciation, the last pronouns. Now let's dealing with these four verbs. Ütülemek, taşımak, koymak, solmak. To be ütülemediler, taşımadılar, koymadılar, solmadılar. Now, to put a question mark here will be ütülemediler mi? Taşımadılar mı? Here with I, here with a. Koymadılar mı? With a. Solmadılar mı? Here I forget it to put these question tools. Ütülemediler mi? Taşımadılar mı? Koymadılar mı? Solmadılar mı? Just at first will be with I. The last will be with a. Now, to ask without, by ignoring the note, to be ütülediler mi? Taşıdılar mı? Koydular mı? Soldular mı? By ignored notes. That's mean Turkish ma or me. Now let's talk about how we can ask, like I said before, by using the question tool, but without using notes. To be like that, the base form, D delta or T delta, and the verb to be plus M delta. To be uyandım mı, Gittim mi? Yaptım mı? Bindin mi? İndin mi? Sevdin mi? Çıktın mı? Sürdün mü? This is the form. Base form plus D, T, or T, delta. The appropriate verb to be with sen is N at the past verb plus M delta question mark. With O, we know we don't have, that's not necessary to put verb to be with O, because by this way I will know from the audience, from the crowd, from anyone, doesn't matter, he talking about O by focus on this field. I don't have any verb to be at last this verb. That means he or she, doesn't matter, talking on O. Geldi mi? Uyudu mu? Çekti mi? Yürüdü mü? Biz dolaştık mı? Yürüdük mü? Yattık mı? Fırçaladık mı? Seyrettiniz mi? And delta as that is the appropriate verb to be with siz. Aradınız mı? Yaktınız mı? Yıktınız mı? The last one is onlar. Here will be ütüledilir mi? Taşıdılır mı? Koydular mı? Soldular mı? Now let's talk about the weekdays. We have 7 days in all the language in our world. We start from Sunday, Monday in English, but in Turkish we start from pazartesi. We can start from pazartesi. The same rule. Sunday is belong to weekend. It's one day of belong to weekend group. The same rule. In Turkish, we have, in Turkey, we have 2 days, in Turkish language, we say hafta sonu, that's mean weekend. We have 2 days each week. This will be the weekend. The same thing. Sunday, pazar, let me say pazar, that means Sunday. All the university, the banks, if you have paperwork, no way to can go to places like that, because the employee, the workers start to go to places like that at the pazartesi, like that's mean from the Monday. Okay, let's start from pazartesi or Monday, that's mean pazartesi. Tuesday, salı. Wednesday, çarşamba. Thursday, perşembe. Friday, cuma. Saturday, cumartesi. Sunday, pazar. Let me say that again. Monday, pazartesi. Tuesday, salı. Wednesday, çarşamba. Thursday, perşembe. Friday, cuma. Saturday, cumartesi. Sunday, pazar. Pazar, that's mean market, and at the same time, that's mean a day name. We can introduce that. We can note that from the line, from the few words. If you're talking about something to take the shopping or something like that, that's mean you're talking about the market, not talking about the Sunday. Like yüzmek. Use, that's mean face. Use, that's mean order to swim. And I think it has another name, another meaning. like English, like any language. Maybe we have one word, but the same word has many meaning, more than one. Now let's talk about the months. January, Ocak, February, Şubat, March, Mart, April, Nisan, May, Mayıs, June, Haziran, July, Temmuz, August, Ağustos, September, Eylül, October, Ekim, November, Kasım, December, Aralık. Let's say that again. January, Ocak, February, Şubat, March, Mart, April, Nisan, May, Mayıs, June, Haziran, July, Temmuz, August, Augustus, September, Eylül, October, Ekim, November, Kasım, December, Aralık. Now let's talk about the seasons. We have 4 seasons: winter in English, kış in Turkish, spring, ilkbahar. Ilk, that's mean the first. Let's focus on that. Son, that's mean the last. We will use at spring and autumn the same word, but with ilk at first, and at the last we will use son. Winter, kış, spring, ilkbahar, summer, yaz, autumn, that means sonbahar. For example, yaz, summer, and the same word we can use it to give the order verb to write. Okay, winter, kış, spring, ilkbahar, summer, yaz, autumn, sonbahar. How we can use was with names. At the previous slides, we introduced how we can use D delta with a verb to illustrate to us. We're talking about geçmiş zaman in Turkish, in English past tense. Now we can use the same form with the names to can say it was beautiful, it was strong, it was, that's mean some change from past to now, until now. Güzel, beautiful. Güzeldi, it was beautiful. Pahalı, expensive, it was pahalı. Ucuz, cheap. Ucuzdu, it was cheap. Uzun, long. Uzundu, it was long. Kısa, kısaydı. Kısa, short. Kısaydı. Why here I put it Y? Here I put it Y because here at the last of these few words we have vowel letter at the last. Because that I must put it Y to can say or to can use this pronunciation by correctly way to be pahalıydı, kısaydı, hızlıydı. Okay. Kısaydı, that's mean it was short. Hızlıydı, it was fast. Name, if I have vowel letter at last, I will put Y because that I used a red color. That's mean it's not necessary. It's not all the time I will use it, just if I have vowel letter at the last names, these names. Here, how I can put notes with the same instruction, with the same form to be, I just will put M, me, or ma, according to which vowel letter we're dealing with, to be like that. Güzel meydi. Here, when I put ma or me, Actually, like we're seeing here, we have vowel letter at the last. That means it's conditioned to put yeah in Turkish language. You can say, you can use the right pronunciation way to talk like the Turkish people. Güzel miydi? Pahalı mıydı? Ucuz mıydı? Uzun mıydı? Kısa mıydı? Hızlı mıydı? Name, ma or me. Here it's condition to put it plus d delta. After that, no way to put t because here we're dealing with condition y. Here, let's introduce how we can ask about something like that. Güzel miydi mi? That means I will just I will use the same form, but at last I will put m delta with a question mark. Delta were related with which vowel letter we're dealing with to be like that. Güzel miydi mi? Pahalı mıydı mı? Ucuz mıydı mı? Uzun mıydı mı? Kısa mıydı mı? Hızlı mıydı mı? Without not to be easier, güzeldi mi? Pahalıydı mı? Ucuzdu mu? Uzundu mu? Kısaydı mı? Hızlıydı mı? We have nouns. Always I will use m delta, but after the name, after anything I want to ask about it. It will be condition. If I want to ask about this form, this thing, doesn't matter what is, I will put m delta after this name, after this verb, okay? Important note, var, that's mean, let's say we have, yok, we don't have meaning in Arabic language and English language to can translate literally this word to equal what. But we can say yok, that's mean the against meaning to we don't have. Var, we have this thing, that's mean var. Defterime, elimde bir defter var. I have a notebook in my hand. When I say yok, that's mean this thing like that. But unfortunately, we don't have the same meaning in Arabic language or in English language. Because that, I take this example. Now, I can use the same d delta or t delta with the var and yok. That's mean vardı, it had, there was, actually there was, we can say there was, yoktu, didn't have. Okay, this two elements illustrate to we dealing with şimdiki şimdiki zaman. We will talk about it in the next slides. That's two elements belong to geçmiş zaman, but here we don't use it with verbs. I use it with names. By give example about güzel, pahalı, something like that, and proved how we can use it and what the last form will be. But at the same time, I can use it with the var and yok by using the same element to say there was, I had a good laptop, I had a good glasses. Okay, and yoktu, the same form but with against meaning. Okay, vardıydı, I can use it. That's mean had, let's say had, yes, it's easier than yoktuydu didn't exist. Yoktuydu didn't exist. Vardaydı had. Okay. Now let's take this the last note, and after that I will finish this lecture. This lecture will be lecture number 1 at chapter 3, section A. At lecture number 2, I will explain and solve all the sheets in the Çalışma Kitabı and the first book in Yunus Emre source. Let's start from here. Bir, that's mean a or an in English language. We have a or an and the in English language. Here, bir, yani, let me take example. Bir havlu, a towel. Bir otobüs, a bus. Bir araba, a car. Bir çocuk, a child. Bir cüzdan, a wallet. Not the wallet, but a wallet. You or he, she didn't know I'm talking about which wallet, because that I'm using a or a or an. Sometime I'm lost my control to talk in English or Turkish, because that's bir uçak, that's mean an airplane. Bir havalimanı, an airport. Here we know when I have vowel letter I use an instead of a. We know that. Approximately I finished chapter 1 and section A, chapter 3. I will see you in the next lecture. Have a good time. Thank you about your watching, your listening. Let me close it.